Okay, so that was weird. Okay, so we're back again. Looks like we got a little disconnected there. Okay, so long story short, hopefully I don't get disconnected again. Sorry for the long wait for the next episode. A lot of stuff has happened. Real life happened. I got myself, I was at the Anime Central convention, had a wonderful time. Now I'm just kind of checking the status of my screen to just make sure it doesn't disconnect again. But as far as I can tell, it looks like everything is going great. So where we last left off, well, actually, I can't even remember where I last left off. So let's just dive right in. District Courthouse. Oh, we're in the trial day. Okay, so that definitely helps.
The court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement.
The prosecution will show to the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact.
I see. Very well, I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness.
Very well, I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand.
So for those of you who forget, I make Phoenix sound normal. I make Edgeworth sound like Nicolas Cage. And I make Gumshoe sound like, are we still connected? We are still connected, it looks like. And I make Gumshoe sound like Patrick Warburton.
Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court.
Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their... Oh, man. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station there is a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. Oh, ouch. The time of death was 2:30. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to that whole thing again? No. I think I can probably remember that.
So the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval.
Samurai spear added to the court record. The spear was found stuck in the chest of the victim. Okay.
Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see?
Understood.
Let's call the security officer to the stand.
Oh, jeez.
Will the witness declare her name?
My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered.
Your name, please.
Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma.
Your name, please.
Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witness to say their names.
Wendy Oldbag, dearie. So you just call me Greg.
Oh god, here she goes again.
Objection. I object to the witness's talkativeness.
Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand.
I was just getting to the good part, dearie.
Perhaps we can get to the testimony.
Oh god, oh. Oh man, what was that?
Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
Yes, sir, I was.
And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you?
You kind of did a different voice there.
You know your stuff, dearie.
You may begin your testimony.
She sure is one hell of an old bag. Witness testimony.
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 o'clock when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5 p.m. Now, the murder happened at 2:30, right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by at 2 o'clock. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading towards the studio.
You shot the defendant then.
Oh, crap. What's going on here? Oh, wow, that's weird. Okay. Sorry about that. Something was really going on weird with my phone.
You shot the defendant then. Very well, let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination. Okay, I think I know what to press, but let's be sure. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Okay, hold on. Let's, okay, yeah, tab. So we have, that. Time of death was 2:30. That's true. Guide map. Card key for studio employees. Gain entrance. Taken to the gate between the entrance. Yeah, it was 2 p.m. Photo number 2. Okay, so I think I know what to do, but I want to press it just in case. So, blah, blah, blah. Because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. Okay, let's press this one first. 2 p.m. You're sure?
Sure as spit.
Well, who is the man?
Really, you should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something. Now, don't get your skivvies all in a bunch. I'll tell you who it was. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading towards the studio.
I think I know what to present this. I need to present the security camera photo, but I want to press this just to be certain. So you saw Mr. Powers.
That's what I said. Got wax in your ears, Sonny? Nick, this is your chance.
Yeah, time to pull out the secret weapon.
I'll say it again. It was him.
Okay, yeah, time to present the photo. Let me get this straight, old bag. Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in the... But you're talking about this man in the photo, aren't you?
Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly?
None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Old Tokyo. Miss Old Bag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course! Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
No, they can't. Well, I wonder.
True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai.
Ah! I know that. I was aboard yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, Miss, witness.
Oh dear, why is my volume so high? Okay, never mind. He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently.
However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Nosy old man. Of course I have proof.
What?
Huh?
Even Edgeworth is surprised.
The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good.
Let's hear about your proof, then.
The man in the photo.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at this Now, look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg, see? Clear as day. That's how I know it was Powers. Happy?
So he had sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Okay, so I'm not completely sure where there's any possible place to, do anything here, so I'm just gonna press until I get something. I never say anything I don't mean, dearie. Yeah, let's just see what happens.
Whippersnapper!
Hey, I haven't said anything yet.
I'll have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I said is on the straight and narrow. The up and up. Youth today always whining about each other, pointing fingers at...
Oh, God.
Mr. Wright, please, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness.
Even Edgeworth is on his side. I think Edgeworth has met his match.
That morning, during the run-through of the action scene...
I said... Oh, wait. During the run-through of the action scene. Who was present at the run-through?
Well, let's see. There was Powers, he's the Steel Samurai, then poor old Hammer, the evil magistrate, and me.
And what exactly were you doing?
Observing. Just... observing.
What about the assistant?
Oh, she was off moving backdrops around and such.
So she didn't see the run-through then.
I saw
Powers trip and fall. Ah, jeez. Trip and fall?
Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Let's just skip over that part, shall we?
Where was the assistant then?
Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
You may continue your testimony.
He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. He broke a prop?
Sure did. He owns his own samurai spear.
The samurai spear? The murder weapon?
Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
This strikes me as a significant detail. I'd better write this down in the court record. Remember, breaking the shaft has been mended with duct tape. Okay?
Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad.
Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained? She just said that.
Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
Thus, the nap.
Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot. Okay?
I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor?
Well, there's one thing that bothers me.
Which is?
Where is this Steel Samurai costume now?
Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers.
I suppose that's right.
Are you sure you're sure? Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? I'm going to save here. Yeah, I'm gonna object. Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers.
The defense has a point. I suppose. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also.
Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice.
Witness's account continued.
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. True? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Okay. I'm once again gonna have to press her on everything. Time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30. Was it? Yes, it was 2:30. Pierced through the chest by the chest by a spear. Okay. How do you know that? Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about it being a secret, pal, he told me everything. I see Detective Gumshoe shares fellow officers' fondness for donuts. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Power. Okay, I gotta stop doing the voice on stuff I already read. Are you absolutely sure? Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody's suspicious looking passed by at all. Nobody's suspicious looking? Right. No one else went there. What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1 p.m.? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them. Are you sure?
The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness.
That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy. Edgy boy? Old Windbag sure has balls, or, well, you know what I mean. Old Windbag sure has a way of skipping over important details, after all. Or, for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps. Oh. Okay, so that's all the testimony we're gonna get. What do I have in evidence? So, murder weapon, breaking the staff. Let's check that. Nothing out of the ordinary. The photo was at 2 p.m. Card key for studio employees grants entry into Studio 1. Guide map of global studios. Let me check that. Main gate. And they couldn't go to Studio 2 because of the giant, because of the giant statue broke. Oh man, this one's a tough one. Let me save. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. Blah, 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 blah. What evidence do I have? You would have seen them. Card key for studio employees. Guide map. Something in this photo? Huh. This one's tricky. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. True? Hold on. Was it? Yeah, 2:30 p.m. Pierced through the chest by a spear. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. I feel like this is the one. Oh man, I'm so nervous. I don't want to get this wrong. Let me press again. Are you sure? Who was to answer the question? Anyone going to the studio had to pass by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy. Edgy boy. Oh man, which is it? Who got before then was Will Powers. But that can't be because he went into the trailer. I pressed everything, didn't I?
Is there something on this map? No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. Oh man, I'm trying to rack my brain about this, but I can't seem to figure out what to do. What evidence do I have? I have the spear, a murder weapon. A break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape, which she fixed. This photo shows the steel samurai. He's clearly dragging a foot, yeah, carrying the spear. And this photo was taken at 2 p.m. Hours? Grant's entry into Studio 1. Guide map to Global Studios. So they were in the employee area. Yeah, she's right. He would have had to pass through, go past the main gate to get to the studio. Oh man, did I perhaps miss a present? What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1 p.m.? Why everyone was in the employee area before then? And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them. Oh man, yeah, here we are again. See, now I'm just going in circles. Oh man, the answer's probably super obvious, but I don't want to look it up. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. True? Yes, it was 2:30 p.m. Pierced through the chest by a spear. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. Do I present the photo again here? Oh, crap. Wait a minute. No one else went there. Because this photo says this is photo number 2. So then, where's the first photo? Yeah, I think this is what we have to do. Yes! Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate up for the studios, correct?
Yes, sirree, Sonny.
So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture.
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words, October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2.
Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny.
Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says, photo number 2.
Photo number 2?
The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Oh, I knew it! Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself.
Me? You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Angie boy, help!
Oh, believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper, too. Whippersnapper?
Something the matter, Miss Oldbag?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess.
Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai.
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
I see. Your testimony, please. Yeah, I said that part normally. The other person.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see? Come to think of it now, I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny, I've only just remembered it.
Right, anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin your cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
The other person. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I'm just gonna press her on everything just to be safe. Another job?
That's right. I check all the people that pass by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of them, every one of the photos that security camera takes.
Did you back up all the security camera data?
Well, they keep telling me to, yes. But those computers are just so frustrating. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see?
How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking?
Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part.
For the most part? This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag.
Well, I didn't touch that suspicious-looking Will Powers photo, did I?
I think she's missing the point.
Come to think of it now, I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased?
Humph, a fanboy.
Fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys, real freaks if you ask me.
Hey.
They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging around about. One was there that day.
Well, wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, you must know there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside and, well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain.
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and...
And?
They're kids, children, whippersnappers.
Kids? So on the photo that you erased...
It was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
What?! I forgot how much I love this game. Order! Order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh yes, well we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him.
A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade, I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear.
Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy.
Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there, that makes him a suspect.
Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. Whew! Oh boy. Okay, what did I make him sound like again? Mr. Powers?
Yes?
I'll give him like a big dumb voice. Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio?
I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo?
How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of your stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone who would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me?
It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now.
Nick! What are we gonna do?
First, we play for more time.
We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this.
Right! And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day!
Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. Something tells me I gotta save.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I'm not optimistic at all, actually.
Hey, Nick, it's time!
Okay, let's go.
What does that mean? Please don't sound like that.
Oh, jeez. My nose is bugging me this entire stream. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Willpowers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter?
The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studio was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there's still no one else that could have committed the crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers.
Very well, Mr. Wright, your thoughts?
The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim.
There is another person who could have committed this crime. I'm gonna save again. Order! Interesting. Let us hear you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right, great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So who is this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder? I think I know what the answer is, but that's just going off of memory since the last time I played this. I think it's the security lady. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag.
What? Whippersnapper?
Order! Order! Is this true, Oldbag?
Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you!
Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume, then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. Huh? That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter?
The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
Oh, crap!
What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so y'all think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something.
It's my move. Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. I'm gonna save. And I'm gonna say press further. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope.
Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, the one whose photo I erased.
He's only a grade schooler, though, as you said. 2nd or 3rd grade, was it?
That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds, tops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer.
What? How can you be so sure? Oh, or is it to be nice to your kids and mean to your elders day, whippersnapper?
Oh, man, excuse me. I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed. Then let's see that proof, Mr. Wright. Yeah, wait, what is my proof? What are they talking about? You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed the murder? The security card! Of course, you need one of those to get into the studio. The scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio 1. However, you need a card key to enter Studio 1. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studios have a card key? I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The windbag, speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Windy. What was your name?
Something old bag, Your Honor.
Then the prosecution will go further into this old bag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned. Whew, bought some time.
Wait a second. I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me? I'm talking.
I love the sounds.
Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk.
Miss Oldbag, what is this about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about?
By whom?
Huh, you mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. My lips were sealed. Whew.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they just told me to pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. My lips were sealed. Those just want me to keep quiet about something. I'm just gonna press on everything just to be sure. So, you were told not to talk.
That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder.
Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer, for starters.
The director?
We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course.
Yeah, that actually does make sense. Witness the power! Glad you can make it, Patchwork.
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? There was a Studio 2?
Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate You go through the gate and all the way to the left.
The path where the monkey's head was fallen over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I think I've already asked all my questions, but yeah, I'm gonna continue. They said they had no... Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder.
I know that, silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side.
So you got your bonus and you still talked. I think I've asked all the questions I have to ask. Now I'm gonna continue. I guess there's no harm in getting as much info as I can. Yeah, there is no harm.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something.
Wait, that was it?
Nick, I guess pressing her was the right thing to do. For an old windbag, she sure likes keeping secrets. Let's get as much information as we can.
Okay, I didn't press her this time. So they were actually in the studio?
Yes, the whole day. When they heard about the murder, they beat it before the cops came.
grumble. I'll kill this woman, I swear it.
I feel sorry for Edgeworth almost. She really left him hanging on this one.
But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Them? Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer, for starters.
The director? Oh, I've already went through this. Blah, 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 Studio 2. Gotta go through all this again. I think I got everything I needed. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer or some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we've just been told of.
I understand, Your Honor.
This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. Woo! We made it. October 18th, 1:04 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Oh, really, it's nothing. Great. Or should I?
We'll be going down to the studios to do more investigating. We have to find out more about the director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. Yeah. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination.
So, Nick, have we figured out just who it was in that steel samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag?
What do you think, Mr. Powers?
I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick.
Yeah, I know. I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers.
Poor old Windbag, I kind of feel sorry for her.
Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios.
Right! We'll be back to visit you soon!
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
To be continued. Yes, I would like to save. I still got some time. Let's go a little bit further. October 18th, Wright & Co. Law Office. Whew, what a day.
This is no time for relaxing, Nick. Say, you think Will Powers got a chance?
I guess that really depends on the people we found out about in today's trial.
The director and producer.
Yeah, them.
Well, what are we doing here then? Let's get to the studios.
Yeah, let's move to the studio. October 18th.
No one's here.
Right, now that they have Miss Oldbag in custody. I guess they don't have anyone else to replace her.
Hey, in the guard station, look! She left her donuts! What? I wasn't going to eat them.
Yes, you were. I think we gotta examine the computer. The computer that runs the studio security cameras. Huh? Looks like it's been turned off for the day. I guess we don't go anywhere else. Okay, move. Should I go to outside Studio 1 or employee area? Well, let's go outside Studio 1. Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Hey, Nick! It looks like Detective Gumshoe isn't here today.
You're right. He's probably up to his neck in paperwork after the commotion at today's trial.
So, Nick, remember that Studio 2 we heard about at the trial today? It was down that path with the fallen tree, right?
Yeah, I think that's what they said.
Maybe the director and the rest of them are there today. Now's our chance, Nick. Let's check it out.
Can we? Can we even get there? We can! October 18th, blah, blah, blah.
This is Studio 2?
I thought so.
It doesn't really look much like a studio, does it?
No, that it does not. Hey, there's a trailer over there. It looks pretty sturdy for a movie set trailer.
Are we sure this is the studio?
Yeah, let's go in. Oh, we can't even go in. We gotta examine.
Nick, let's go inside.
You think it's okay?
Oh,
Oh, well, it's locked.
aw, shucks.
What about the window? On closer inspection, this trailer looks like it's been here for a while. I don't think this is part of some temporary film set. Wait a minute. I remember. There's some flowers here.
Wow, so pretty. They're taking good care of these.
Don't get too close. That fence looks dangerous. Is that it? Let's go back to Studio 1, maybe?
I don't really want to be in here.
Yeah, it is a murder scene.
I want to go someplace else, Nick.
Okay, so nothing is in here, really. Let's go back to Studio 2. I think I examined the boiler. An incinerator. Apparently they just put this one in. It's already covered in soot. They must not clean it much. Looks like 2 people ate here. There's nothing left on the plates.
Hey, so they ate T-bone steaks too.
What is it with you and what is it with steaks around here?
Hey, there's always room for steak. But something that doesn't seem out of place.
What?
I don't know, it just feels odd.
How so? What feels odd? These look like materials for making a movie set.
They've been sitting here for quite some time. This might as well be a junkyard.
I've examined everything here. What about the truck? A light van for moving staff and equipment around. They kept it in pretty good shape. Looks like it'd run fine.
Well, let's go for a drive.
Sure, if I had a license. Wait, Phoenix doesn't have a license?
Nick, you don't have a license?
Yeah. But look, I have this.
Why are you showing me your attorney's badge, Nick?
What do I do? I've pretty much, explored everywhere. Maybe we go to the detention center.
Oh, Mr. Wright, thank you for earlier.
Not at all. We got lucky, to tell the truth.
You can say that again.
Let's not.
So, Will Powers, do you have any leads that might get us going in the right direction?
Sorry, but no.
Be sure to tell us anything that comes to mind, no matter how small.
We can't rely on getting lucky again tomorrow.
Yes, Sniff.
I guess we talked to him. Oh, the fanboy. Do our fanboys sneak into the studios often?
No, not that I know of. That security lady's pretty strict with them.
But in today's testimony, didn't she say they were often hanging around?
The kids really love the Steel Samurai. They sneak past when she's not looking, I guess.
How about the director? Was the director present at the morning run-through?
Yes, he was. He was directing how the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate should move.
Why didn't you tell us that before?
Well, just the studio asked us to keep quiet.
That has nothing to do with this. I hate to repeat myself, but Nick here is a newbie lawyer, fresh off the bar. When he loses, he's going to lose big.
I see.
Whose side is she on?
You aren't hiding anything else from us, are you?
No, I sure hope not.
I guess that's it. Let's go back to the main gate. And I think with that, we are going to end it there. So I want to thank you all for coming to my stream. There is a very good chance I'll be streaming again tomorrow. Same time, same game. Hopefully we'll get a little further this time. And I'll definitely try to stream a bit more often now. I mean, it all kind of depends on how life is going. And once again, this will be up on my YouTube sometime later this evening. And we'll see you all next stream. See you later.